Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Dr. Maggie Yu, and I run a program, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally, where we help people transform and turn around their autoimmune disease. And tonight is an interview that we've been talking about because there's two people in our program, a couple, and that's Maylo and let me add them on camera. Maylo and Ed Barber. They're a young couple who's going through our program right now to transform their autoimmune disease. And what they're coming on to talk about is this big question. Like a lot of people look at me and they're there. You're gonna have to turn down the volume. Yeah, because I'm echoing. You have two devices.
Where am I? Are we good?
Is it?
Yeah.
We're still echoing.
I'm not sure why.
So you have a second device.
That's
playing.
No, we just have to one. Let's have a look.
Anyway,
so while they're fixing their sound and figuring out what they. Oh.
Is there a second device?
That's hang on. We got the fix.
Okay. We got the fix. Cool. Awesome. So Ed and Maylo are going through our program right now. And tonight's question is really, what does mindset, what you're thinking, what does personal growth have anything to do with autoimmune? A lot of people look at me, I'm an MD. We have a program that's called Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. And people are saying, what the heck does that have to do with personal growth and mindset? And you're here to answer that. And for those of you that are watching right now, please write in the comments where you're watching from. It's great for me to know where the demographics are. If there's anyone that you know that has autoimmune disease and you want to share this message with them, type their name in the comment section. That'll be great. And for those of you that are in the program right now, and those of you that are in the program with Maylo and Ed, please chime in as we talk about this discussion of why personal growth really matters in turning around autoimmune disease. So let's start this question off right away, right off the bat. Maylo, you were the first one between the two of you that was in the program, and Ed, you joined later. So can you tell us a little bit about what autoimmune disease and what brought you into our program?
Basically, I've just had many years of suffering from, heart issues. I've had heart surgery and a lot of head pressure, wooziness, vertigo, anxiety, panic attacks, just really horrible overall feeling of being sick, like fevers and just all sorts of weird things. So, yeah.
Yeah, and do you know the diagnosis that you were struggling with from an autoimmune standpoint?
Hashimoto's and PCOS.
Okay,
PCOS.
So Hashimoto's PCOS, and you learned on tonight's mastermind how that's crazy ass linked.
Yeah. Now I know why I have heart problems.
I know, I can't wait to talk about that. But my question for you is, what week are you in the program? And Ed, you joined the program later. So what week are you in the program, Maylo?
I'm week 6.
Okay, and Ed, you are?
I am week 3.
Okay, so the question is going to be, why did you decide to join into the program 2 weeks after Maylo joined?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it, and just seeing her take ownership and really going after what she wanted to find out as far as all the symptoms that she had, and just really going for it. I really wanted to support her with it firstly, and seeing her just taking ownership of her stuff made me want to take ownership of my stuff.
I'm loving this because let's talk about this personal ownership thing, okay? Because you came to this program, I'm a medical doctor and it's a health program. What the heck is this about taking personal ownership of this about? What is that about, Maylo?
Honestly, I have been searching high and low for a long time, doing all sorts of different avenues, and I gave up. I started eating horribly and I didn't care, but then I got sicker and sicker, and so when I found an avenue that was educational, this is what this was education. I took the ownership and was like, okay, I'm going to educate myself because everything I've done thus far hasn't worked. So, yeah.
Yeah, so what I remember you had mentioned, and Mary's joining us, that's our nutritionist, Sue from Australia in the program with you right now. And Barbara's watching. So any of you that are alumni that are watching, please chime in, let people know you're in the program. So what I'm hearing, Maylo, is that you had gone through a lot, and there was a lot of symptoms you're dealing with. I mean, you mentioned palpitations that ended up in the ER. So in the last five,
Mhm.
6 years alone, what kind of medical bills was as a result of all these panic attacks or these palpitations, thyroid, back and forth? How much did you spend on your medical care in the last 5 years alone?
$65,000.
Plus.
That was the medical part. We did bankruptcy. There was more involved, but 65,000 of it was medical.
Okay. So at this point, you said, well, there's nothing. You said I've tried so many things. I looked so much. There really wasn't like anything else. What do I have to lose to try something different, right?
Yeah,
So I have a
exactly.
question, which is, we're here to talk about personal growth. And my question is that, Ed, you watch her go through this the first 2 weeks. What did you notice that was different about what she's doing now than what she was doing the last 5 years with her health?
I think firstly having a support network that really understands, and I think her actually spending the time to actually go through the modules and do the education, and not just kind of going on a whim, going, oh, let me try this thing, let me try this thing, let me try this thing, but going, nope, I'm going to stick with this, and I'm gonna just gonna go for it. And I think for me that was a big thing because it's so easy to want to try and find a quick fix, and to see her just like, I'm just going to commit to this was just a huge thing for me.
So you said commitment was huge. That was a big difference that you saw. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, me, I'm like, I'm going to be as committed as you are to this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you saw her committed and you saw her making these changes, what changed in you, Ed? What did you realize about you?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It made me go. At the beginning of the year, I had said to everyone, because I was trying to change my mindset. Even at the beginning of the year, I was like, "This is a year of victory. This is a year of victory. This is a year of
Yeah.
victory." And seeing her committed to it, it was like, well, I keep saying it's a year of victory. I need to step up my game and and do that too. Because I kept on waiting for, oh, well, one day I'll have this, and one day I'll have this, and finally it was like I can't be keeping waiting for the one day. I need to go for the day.
Mhm. So what I'm hearing is you saw that she was really for once truly committed to her health, committed to doing
Hmm.
whatever it took, not a quick band-aid. And you started to question your own commitment to what you're going to do for this year of healing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, question for you. Why didn't you just go see another doctor and do another test? Why did you join the program?
Well, at the time, I actually did. I was working for someone that actually had offered, like, "Oh, Ed, you just do this, just do that," and I was like, "No." I had been, I just recently found out about the term, although I had been experiencing it for many years, compassion fatigue.
Ah,
Especially with not knowing how to fix things, and as a guy, that's all you want to do is just try and fix it as best you can. And so not being able to help as like I wanted to and not really knowing what was going on, it was really difficult. So rather than trying to go through another avenue, I was like, the best way I can show compassion is by joining her and doing the program together. And that's why I joined the program.
Also, he wanted his data.
Yeah, I wanted my data too. But that was the biggest thing is I could have gone a different avenue, but I decided that I wanted to do it together so that we could build our relationship and I could actually understand because she was talking about all this stuff and it was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so I was like, well, the only way I can do that is by actually doing the program as well and finding out for myself what was going on.
I love this. George, thanks for watching. And Sheila, thanks for watching. Oh, Riz from Hawaii. Awesome. We have so many alumni that are joining us right now. So what I'm hearing, compassion fatigue is real. We just had someone post in the Facebook group over the weekend about how, she had the autoimmune disease, but she felt like her husband wasn't sympathetic or understanding or listening. But there's also the other side of this, which is there's plenty of spouses that are experiencing severe compassion fatigue,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah.
where you're at,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
for
both
sure.
of those things affect a relationship. And both of those things affect the outcome of health in both members in that household.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
especially with compassion fatigue, because I would get irritable or apathetic, and I would just feel like I was a horrible person. So most of the time, rather than trying to explain how I was feeling, I would just suppress it, and then that was just coming out in really inappropriate ways, and just I wasn't fully able to be there for her because I wasn't taking care of my own needs. So
So let's talk
boundaries.
about that. You weren't taking care of your own needs. So there's multiple dynamic issues here when we're dealing with someone with autoimmune disease. So let's talk about this. What have you learned? What have you learned? I'm going to ask you, Ed. I'm going to ask you, Maylo. What is something that you learned about yourself during this program where you had to up level yourself to raise your own standards? So what did you learn about yourself that you had to raise to a higher standard?
Um, honestly, I've had a lot of issues with boundaries. This program really helped me learn like what proper boundaries are to maintain like my health, my mental health, um, and also just feeling up leveled is the education part for me is huge. I'm always asking, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to take that? Why do I feel this way? You know, and this program is like, here's your answer. Here's everything that you need, and it just gives me peace. And for me, it was committing, and then it was following those instructions. It's like, okay, well, if that's the end game and that's what I need to do, then I'm gonna commit to do that, even in the midst of all of these outside things that were triggering me before, that I would give in and eat something wrong, or I would not, do something that I should, or whatever. It just, this program is so informational and it's so to the point. It's, for me, it was just the golden ticket to say, okay, I'm committed, I'm going to do this. And it gave me my willpower back. They say, oh, your willpower's in your gut, which, yes, we work on that. But for me, willpower comes from information and knowing that that's the truth. And so it was huge for me.
I think what I'm hearing is knowing the why, the motive matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone wants to
Yeah.
get well. But if you
Yeah.
truly understand why you have to do something and there's data to support it, and you know what the
Yes.
hell you're talking about with the data, how much stronger is that why? How
Yeah.
much stronger is your commitment to be when the motive matters and you
I've
know exactly why you're doing something?
Yeah, it's huge because I haven't committed to something this long before without cheating. Like, I haven't cheated. And you think, oh, cheating, but for me it's like I had a legitimate food addiction. It was emotional, it was how I grew up, it was every type of form, whether you were sad,
Yeah.
celebrating, whatever. And for me that was huge. And knowing all this information and what food is doing to me, I haven't cheated, and that to me is huge. Even on emotionally horrible days, it's like, we went to the movies the other day, and I was like, he's like, we're gonna have movie popcorn. I'm like, I'm making a smoothie. Like, like, I can't eat popcorn on an empty stomach. Yes, I had some, and no, we didn't put butter on it because with my data, that's where I'm at. But for me, that was huge. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So here's an interesting point. Is you mentioned right in the beginning you have Hashimoto's and you have PCOS, right? And then you also
Mm-hmm.
mentioned you've spent 5 years and $65,000 going to emergency rooms and cardiologists. Today, actually tonight on the mastermind coaching call tonight, you found out why that happened and why it will never happen again.
Yeah, I did. It actually made me a little bit mad that I didn't know this like 10 years ago, because that's when the symptoms really started,
Mm-hmm.
was my early 20s. And, I made one dietary change back then and did pretty good, but then went to culinary school and my health just it tanked. And I've been trying to dig myself back up and had heart surgery and all this other stuff. And today I learned something so simple. Yes, it will take time to fix, but it's so simple. And I'm just like, why have I not been told this by doctors? Why? I've seen so many
Well,
people.
but
Oh,
here's the thing is, we talk about blood sugar, but I'm actually showing you with data exactly why blood sugar is a problem and
yeah.
how it's linked with your PCOS and how it's linked with the Hashimoto's. And
Hmm.
today you said that you had a big win today. What was that win?
Okay, so um, I was having the last hour of work, I was having really horrible heart palpitations to where I do the neck check and I'm freaking out, and my coworkers are like, what's wrong? And I'm just like, it's anxiety. And so I'm driving home and I'm on the mastermind call. You know, it's Tuesday. I hop on right when I get in my car and I'm going, do I go to the hospital? Do I go home? Do I go to the hospital? Do I go home? No, I want to go home and talk to Maggie. That's what I want to do. I want to ask her about this. I was
That's
like,
huge.
and I drove
That's
right by the
huge.
hospital, and I, like, around on my way home, I passed right by it, and I was like, nope. And I, you know, lose a lot of service on the way home and kind of dropped the mastermind call, and I
Yeah.
just started singing. I started singing to myself, started singing to Jesus, and I just, like, got myself in a state of peace so that by the time I came back on the call and had service again, everything was, like, smooth.
So the win was not another ER visit, not another $5,000 ER bill. And you found
Nope.
out
Yeah.
during the call what caused that episode. What the hell caused that episode?
As a piece of candy.
Because your blood sugar has been going up and down like crazy. And every time you do that sugar rush, what happens an hour or two later?
Yeah.
You're
And I
getting
say I want to say, like, not cheated. Like, I had a piece of candy. I read the ingredients. I said, oh, everything's here. The problem was too much sugar. There wasn't any reactionary food in that, but it was the sugar. And that, for me, as Maggie
it's a
calls it, data.
huge trigger of your autoimmune disease.
Data!
I was like
Yeah.
joking around on the mastermind. I said, I'd love to be the cardiologist or the ER provider for you, because every time you come in, which is every other day, I'd be like, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching,
Here's a Skittle.
ka-ching,
Here's a Skittle.
ka-ching, ka-ching. I'm going to throw Skittles at you. Come on.
Yeah.
Pay for my kids'
Yeah,
college
so-
education. Right.
And I learned with PCOS that sugar is a huge thing, and I've had 2 pieces
Yeah.
of candy the entire time. One of them was today.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So this is going to be huge. So there's medical aspects of this, but one of the things I
Yeah.
really want to highlight is you guys posted a beautiful video of the two of you singing Chasing Cars. And so I know, like, I want to ask something, which was like, it was incredible. I mean, the love between the two of you and just even the growth between the two of you from week 1 to right now is palpable. And I want to ask, I mean, a lot of people was touched by that video, and I want to know, what did you do during this program for the last, you've been in the program together for 2-3 weeks. How have you up-leveled your relationship now? What has changed in your relationship?
You okay?
There's so much more space in, like, what we're going through, whereas before it was like, you can't be sick, you can't be that, we'd be at each other's throats, like. And now it's like going through this program, we're seeing the data, we're seeing what's wrong, we're seeing how we're fixing it, and like, I am like giving him space because I've been such like a mother hen to my husband and just like, do this, do this, do this, you know. And finally I was just like, you're gonna own it or you're not gonna own it, and I'm just gonna let it go right there.
Yeah.
And I gave him that space, and he stepped right into it, and I was just like, sweet. Like,
Yeah.
so I just feel like we have more space for each other,
Right.
if that makes sense, emotionally, and
Yeah.
the patience is so much more palpable, I think, and there's a peace, like, we're getting answers and we know that we're working towards something. So I just personally feel so much more peace between us.
Yeah.
What do you
For
think
me,
of?
like, I mean, when you get married, you say, like, in sickness and in health. And so I technically did jump into the caretaker role, but I kind of just call it the husband role too. But I think the issue for me is, for the longest time, I had a crisis of identity where I was like before we had the miscarriage, it was like, oh, when I'm a dad, I'll be better. I'll be this great dad. And when it was like coming to my career, or when I do this business, you know, I'll have all this money. I'll be able to do this. And so the week 1, you talk about like the different mindsets and the whole like pleaser mindset. And I realized that a lot of my lack of identity came from just wanting to please people, and like, oh, they're upset, so that must be because of me, so what can I do to change myself in order to do that? And so what boundaries is like separating yourself from the other person. And when you do that and you have that healthy boundary, you're actually much more able to be there for one another. I mean, even as simple as like the other day I gave her a head scratch, and then like yesterday she offered me a head scratch. I didn't even have to ask her, and it's like a simple gesture, but it's like a really meaningful thing, and it's like just that intimacy there is really awesome. But you've still got this. We're individuals we're co-independent rather than codependent, which
Co-independent versus codependent. That's
Yeah.
huge. Now people out there don't even understand what that means.
is
We're
I didn't
learning.
know what it meant, and I'm still learning.
Wow. So this has been, and so let's talk about that. I mean, I mean, how proud are you guys of each other? I'm just
I'm
saying.
very proud of that. I was saying it the other day, and just like, why are you proud? I'm
I
like,
know, we
because
keep
of this,
saying
because of
it.
this.
I'm like, why are you proud of me?
Yeah.
I know, I am really proud of him as well. I don't say it. He's much more vocal about it than I am, but just like this feeling is coming back of when we were dating, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
it's so
It's
good.
good.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people watching right now that are watching you go through this program right now. And I'm asking alumni and those of you that are watching right now, what have you guys learned about mindset? And what have you learned about personal growth that's really helped propel your health to the next level? Okay, I'd love to hear you say that. And for those of you that are watching Maylo and Ed going through this program right now, comment on what your observation is. You know, we have several couples that are going through the program together, and how much of a bigger impact and a bigger ability when you guys are both committed and on the same page, co-independent versus codependent, in actually freeing yourself to actually do the hard work and commitment that's needed to turn this crap around now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
huge.
And the meaning of what you said earlier in the call about when you look at stuff and you have a different meaning towards stuff. So like
Oh, the
I
meaning
started
maker.
out,
I taught on that
yeah,
tonight.
right, yeah. I started out at the beginning of the year saying year of victory, and I've had some challenging times this year that have been really difficult. But every time something good happens, rather than just being like, okay, because in the past it would be like, okay, well, the good things happen, but don't get too excited because another bad thing is going to happen anytime soon. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's like every time something good happens, I'm like, I told you, year of victory, year of
It's
victory,
true.
year of victory.
Which I'm like, what?
And like, I just reminded of like through, perseverance and going through trials, you do grow in maturity and growth. And so to consider it joy is a really important thing to do. So it's kind of exactly what you were saying about flipping the meaning of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Georgine and Len Glenn's commenting. I'd like to know more about this. Awesome. Join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. Georgine is saying, love how making me feel better does better for my health. Totally true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. So
hmm
sounds to me like, yeah, and I just taught on that tonight, which is when you master the meaning maker in your brain, you master your life. When you can change your meaning about things, you can totally change your life, transform your life and the people around you as well, and your health. But at the same time, this is not about the power of positivity. I'm not
no,
teaching about the power of
Mm-mm.
positivity.
No.
yeah,
No, because when
I
you
mean,
get a test result and it's crazy, you're just going, oh wow, that sucks. Or you can go, oh wow, like now we know what's wrong. And that's what I've been getting. All this data that I'm
yeah,
getting, I'm kind of like, oh yeah,
yeah.
PCOS. Oh, okay, well, what do I do?
It's not about
did
being in
you
What do
not
I do?
denial.
totally get excited tonight? You're like,
Right,
PCOS,
right,
Hashimoto's, blood sugar. Oh my God, this data, the hormones. Didn't you just get freaking
right.
excited?
We were like, yeah,
I know. I was like,
Instead
guys,
of, oh
PCOS.
crap, what else is wrong with me?
Well, it actually
right,
gave me some peace because, in a weird way, it's like, okay, well, now I know why I have
Yeah,
felt the way I do, and it's like a
yeah,
legitimate thing to
yeah.
be like, okay, this is how I feel. All right, sweet. There's a peace in that. And that sounds weird. It wasn't a dreadful thing because there's an answer to how to go ahead
yeah,
and, map that out. So that for me
right.
was big.
I'm,
It's not about being in denial and being like, oh, everything's gonna great. It's not like all the nowadays they have this thing where it's like a lot of people hate self-help because it's all about motivational porn. Like, you can do it. I'm on a beach right now and I have $1 million, and it's a load of rubbish. And a lot of it just
I'm
comes
gonna
down to
think and
just
attract paychecks to me.
right.
Right?
A lot
I'm
No,
of
gonna
it
sit here and
is
do nothing.
it's just loving yourself enough to go to believe in yourself more,
Mm.
changing those things. Like with Jackie right now, I'm going through like the 3 words thing, like I am patient, I'm kind, and I'm aware. And I don't
that's our mindset
necessarily
coach.
always,
Jackie's our
yeah, and I
mindset
don't
coach.
always, I have when I first said it, I kind of laughed because it was like, I don't know about that. But then like, I keep saying it to myself because that's what I want to be. And if you keep telling yourself that,
It's true.
then eventually you're going to manifest those
But
results.
the funny thing is, do you know how many of us are walking around all day long saying, who the hell do I think I am? Or am I good enough? Or what's wrong with me? Just think about what the underlying assumption is saying, what's wrong with me? And that's the primary question a lot of people have. And think about 100 times a day of you saying to yourself, what's wrong with me? And the underlying assumption is there's something wrong with you. You think that that doesn't have power?
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge.
Right.
Yeah, I battled for a long time with not feeling good enough, and now I'm like, no, I am good enough. That's why
You have
yesterday I did a
choice.
7.8-mile hike to prove myself, like,
Well-
I can do this.
Well, think about that. I mean, because Ed, your biggest thing was dealing with anxiety and mood issues, right? What has already happened in the last 2 weeks since you've joined the program? What has happened with your health on that?
I've already felt a lift. Even like the second weekend, I lost my job. And usually I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And like the first day, I did beat myself up and I was like, I'm not good enough. But then after that, I was like, nope, I can't keep doing that. So I went on and did like a singing video. And, you know, I just delved into the group and just completely didn't allow myself to think that I wasn't good enough.
I love it because you activated the community too. I mean, that's huge. I mean, people, tons of the people on this watching right now are people going through the program with you right now.
Yeah.
How important is the role of a community in turning around your autoimmune disease naturally?
Huge.
It's huge.
I was going to mention, I love the fact that this program, Maggie, we have you, we have Jackie, our mindset coach, we have Mary, our nutritionist. When I learned that there was like a team, I was like, whoa, it's not just one person. It's not just you going through everything. I mean, all of you have different personalities. All of you have different backgrounds. All of you have different like hearts and minds and thoughts, and you all come together. And I tell people when they ask about this program, I'm like, they literally look at you 360-degree view.
You have
They
to.
want to know this is good. They want to know this is good. They want to know your data, you know, so that you can roadmap what that looks like for you. They want to know what you're putting in, whether it's information or food. And I was just like,
You're not being talked to, you're being engaged with.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
And it's
you're
not even just me.
learning.
I mean, the pod meetings is incredible.
I love my pod meetings with Sarah. Hi,
Yeah.
Sarah.
I love my pod too, and I invited her into my pod too.
I'm an honorary member of another pod.
Yeah.
Shanice's
That's awesome.
watching. Shanice saying, Maylo, you look amazing. I remember when you first started. Oh, do you remember Shanice when we first started? And Shanice, thank you so much. She just posted an amazing testimonial of her journey into our Facebook group. Thank you guys. It's really sweet. And for those of you who are watching right now, to learn more about us, you can go to drmaggieyu.com, or you can join our Facebook group. The link is up above. Click that link and join the Facebook group and learn more about us. This video is really busting the bubble of why mindset, what you think, personal growth matters the most in actually turning around autoimmune disease. And our program and me and us are the only people doing that in dealing with autoimmune disease, which is what I'm so proud of. And you guys are an amazing story. And thank you for sharing that video of you guys singing. You guys can check that video out in our Facebook group. We'll post it to our page even too. Can I post it to the page too? Can everybody see it? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, have a great night. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining
thank
us.
you.
Those of you who are just finished the mastermind, all the alumni in here, thank you, everybody. Give them a thumbs up, give them a heart. And please share this video and anyone that you think with autoimmune disease that could benefit from learning more about personal growth, mindset, and relationships, why it has to do, improves the outcomes in dealing with autoimmune disease. Have a great night, everybody.
Lupus, lung fibrosis,
Hashimoto's thyroiditis,
fibromyalgia, AS, which is a form of arthritis,
Epstein-Barr, extremely fatigued.
pretty much zero joint pain.
Much more happy.
I don't have brain fog anymore. How much weight I have lost.
I want to see remission.
Maggie and her approach is very different than the traditional doctor.
I'm a totally different person.
I got a better understanding of what those intolerances were.
You're not alone.
The community is, I'm learning from everyone else's issues.
It's not just helped me, it's helped my entire family.
We are transformed.
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 Join the movement and transform your autoimmune naturally today.